Hi everyone, it's Rina. Today I have a super quick tutorial for you. One of my VIP members, Kim, asked if we could make a mini twist pop-up panel card that is 3x3, and that's what I have for you today. So I hope that you'll give it a try, and then at the very end of this video I have another project share or tutorial that'll be coming next week. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so this is the card we're going to be making today. It is a 3x3 version of the Twist Pop-Up Panel card. And I did add a little pocket. So if you want to add a tag or a thin little goodie, you definitely could. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so to make this tiny version of the Twist Pop-Up Panel card, you're going to need three pieces of cardstock. You'll need a 3x6 piece. This is going to be your base. Then you need a 2 1/4 by 6 inch piece. This is your panel piece. And then a 2x5 piece, which is going to be your mechanism. If you do want to add the pocket on the back, then you'll need an additional piece that measures 4 by 3.5 inches. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by scoring, and we'll start with our base piece, which is 3x6. You're going to take your scoring board and you will score on the 6 inch side at 3. And then this one, you're just going to fold right down the middle, and now you have your 3x3 card. Okay, and so your panel piece, we'll do that next. So for your panel piece, on the 6 inch side, we're going to score at 1.5, 3, and 4.5. That's your panel piece. And then for your mechanism, on the 2 inch side, you're going to score at 1 inch, and then on the 5 inch side, this is where you're going to make your little marks. So on the 5 inch side, you're going to make a mark at 1.5 inches and 3.5 inches. And so then rotate it all the way around and make your mark at 1.5 and 3.5. And so now we're going to go ahead and make our diagonals, our diagonal X. So you're going to line up your marks, this top one with this bottom one, and go ahead and score, and then do the same thing on this side. This is exactly like the way we've made the large pop-up panel card and the medium size, I guess. Oops, this one went a little bit off. Okay, so now you have your mechanism scored also. If you are going to add the pocket, then go ahead and also score your pocket as well. So on the 4 inch side, you're going to score at 3.5 and 1/2 inch. And then on the 3.5 inch side, you're going to score at 3. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and make our folds. So for your panel piece, you're going to fold a mountain fold, then your valley fold, and then your mountain fold. And make sure that you burnish. And then for your, actually I did that backwards. You're going to do a valley fold, then a mountain fold, then a valley fold. So it should look like this. So you'll have your little peak here in the center. And then for your mechanism, you're going to fold over. And then remember, we're going to flip our mechanism over, and then you'll fold on your diagonal lines, creating your little X. And once you do that, you're going to create your little house. And then just burnish down your folds on your little house. Okay, So now all of our pieces are ready, and we're going to start by adding our little house to our base. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to measure to 1.5 on our base and make our little 1.5 mark. And this is where we're going to put our little house. So go ahead and add score tape right here on the top of your little house, and then you're going to add your little house to your mechanism, just exactly like we've done in the past. So let's go ahead and get that piece done, and then we'll finish building our base. Okay, so I added my score tape to my little house, and I had to add just a teeny tiny piece because it's such a small little mechanism. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it up, the little point to where we put our mark, right up until the fold, but not going over the fold mark. And I'm just going to take off the backing and fold the top over. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. And then make sure that you go ahead and burnish both sides. And now you have your little mechanism in place. So now we're going to measure to the center again. We know that our base is 3 inches wide, so we're going to measure to the midpoint, which is 1.5, just like we did a few seconds ago. Add your little mark, and now you're going to add your panels. So we're going to match this little fold line right here to this little mark right here that we just made, and fold your pieces over. And then you're going to make just make a little straight line down the side and a little X. And this, if you'll remember, is where we add our score tape. And if this is the first time making your first time making a twist pop-up panel card, we just make sure we add that as a little guide for where we don't want to go over our tape, or where we don't want our tape to go past. So go ahead and add your score tape to this side and to this little box, and then we will attach the panels. Okay, so I've added my score tape, and now we're going to go ahead and attach our panels. We're going to again line up this little score mark right here, our center mark, our center score line, right up with that pencil mark that we made a few minutes ago. And when you fold your little panels in, everything should be lined up with the marks that you just finished making. And so now you're going to take off your tape backing, and fold your panel piece over. And then just make sure that you burnish both sides. And now you have your twist pop-up panel working. And you can burnish on the outside as well so that you can get your panel, your mechanism working really well. Okay, so now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add our little pocket. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to miter your edges. So you're going to cut off this little corner right here where the little X meets. Do that on both sides. And then you're going to fold on all your score lines. And now I want you to go ahead and add your score tape all along the back right here and burnish really well, and then we'll go ahead and get our pocket added. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add our pocket, and I like to open up my card and face it with the inside facing down so I can add my pocket. And you're just going to go ahead and take off the score tape backing. And just add your pocket to the back. And try to line it up as best you can on the sides and on the bottom. And this pocket, I actually cut it a little bit shorter than 3.5, so that's why I have this little space here. But there's your pocket. And this pocket, I cut it exactly at 3.5, and that's why it goes all the way up to the top. So that's why you see that little bit of a difference. But now your twist pop-up mini twist pop panel card is done. I do have one other project share for you. Okay, so here it is. It is a giant twist pop-up panel card, and the size of this card is actually 12 by 24 inches. So if you want to make this card, you'll actually need to get the 12 by 24 inch size cardstock, and I used 3 pieces of cardstock for the base. But it opens up just like a regular twist pop-up panel card. The size of these panels are actually 6 inches by 9 inches. So I think this, for me, I'm going to use it to send to my nieces and nephews for their Valentine gift. And I'm going to include little pictures of them on each of the panels. And then here is the bottom and then the top. And it does fold just like a regular twist pop-up panel. And here's the back. It opens and folds the exact same way. Now on the top, I did layer this piece here. I added an 11 by 11 base and then a 10 3/4 by 10 3/4 designer paper. And then I went down to 8 by 8 here and 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. And I haven't even finished embellishing it yet, but I did definitely want to show it to you so that you can see, you can make a super gigantic twist pop-up panel card as well. And I will do a tutorial on this one a little bit later in the week, but I wanted to go ahead and show it to you now. Thanks for stopping by.